SITREP World Briefing for May 25, 2026. Armed separatists bombed a train carrying military personnel in Pakistan on Saturday, killing at least 24 people in one of the deadliest recent attacks on a transport target linked to the country's security forces. Officials said the passengers included soldiers traveling home for Eid, turning a routine holiday movement into a mass casualty strike. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif condemned what he called a heinous bomb explosion and offered condolences to the victims' families. The bombing also highlighted the vulnerability of rail transport in Pakistan, where troop movements, holiday travel, and long-distance passenger routes often overlap. The attack fits a broader pattern in Pakistan, where separatist militants have repeatedly sought to strike military personnel, infrastructure, and transport links. Hitting a train carrying service members home for Eid gave the assailants both symbolic value and a large target. Russia launched a major missile and drone attack on Kyiv, killing at least 2 people and injuring dozens in one of the heaviest assaults on the Ukrainian capital in recent weeks. President Volodymyr Zelensky later visited damaged sites, including the Chernobyl Museum, as emergency crews and residents surveyed shattered buildings across the city after the overnight strike exposed the continued vulnerability of the capital to combined aerial attacks. European leaders condemned the strike, and European Union officials began weighing additional pressure on Moscow in response to the attack. The assault, which included ballistic missile fire at the Ukrainian capital, reinforced the central role of air defense in Europe's support for Ukraine and sharpened the political case for further sanctions, weapons deliveries, and financial backing. For Kyiv, the significance of the attack went beyond the immediate casualty toll because the city serves as Ukraine's political center, diplomatic hub, and symbolic seat of national resistance. Zelensky's public visit to the damaged locations was meant to show continuity of government and resilience. Iran and the United States said they had made progress in their latest nuclear-related contacts, but both sides also signaled on May 25th that a final agreement was not close. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said advances had been made on many issues, while stressing that a deal with Washington was not imminent. The negotiations have centered on curbing Iran's nuclear program, with the reported objective of securing an Iranian pledge not to acquire nuclear weapons, a goal that has shaped years of diplomacy between Tehran and Washington. Trump's decision to temper expectations, including his message that both sides must take their time and get it right, suggested that the discussions have moved into a more delicate phase, in which sequencing, verification, and political guarantees matter as much as headline progress. China launched a 3-person crewed mission to the Tiangong space station from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center on Sunday, May 24th. The crew included the first astronaut from Hong Kong to travel into space. The launch took place a day before this briefing date, correcting earlier accounts that had placed the liftoff on May 25th. The astronaut from Hong Kong is serving as the team's payload scientist on the mission, while the broader flight is designed to support experiments and station operations aboard Tiangong. The launch is part of a larger Chinese push to expand its presence in orbit, with one member of the crew expected to remain in space for a full year as Beijing prepares for more ambitious missions, including a future crewed landing on the moon. Tiangong has become the centerpiece of that strategy, giving China a permanent platform in low Earth orbit. The Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo widened sharply as the World Health Organization said more than 900 suspected cases had been identified, including 101 confirmed infections, and warned that the epidemic was spreading. Health workers and humanitarian staff are trying to contain the virus across a vast country where transport links are weak. The renewed spread is especially concerning in Congo because the country has faced repeated Ebola emergencies in recent years, giving officials experience but also leaving an already strained health system to confront another surge. The operational picture worsened after Red Cross volunteers died from suspected Ebola in Congo, affecting the frontline response because local aid workers are central to tracing contacts, isolating patients, and educating communities about burials and infection control. The Red Cross said the volunteers were thought to have caught the virus before the outbreak was identified. Those deaths highlight a core problem in Ebola outbreaks. The people tasked with stopping transmission are themselves exposed first, often in places where protective equipment, transport, and laboratory access arrive too slowly. The combination of more than 900 suspected cases, confirmed infections, and the loss of volunteers has raised the stakes for Congo's government, the WHO, the Red Cross, and international medical teams as they try to prevent wider regional spread. Ebola containment depends on speed, identifying cases early, testing samples quickly, and reaching remote communities before chains of transmission grow longer. In eastern and central Congo, where insecurity, poor roads, and limited medical infrastructure have repeatedly complicated emergency responses, delays can turn a local flare-up into a much broader crisis. Sources and the full written briefing are available at sitrepbrief.com.